As
That's
I
how
read through
mom
my
was
names,
too.
yeah.
Growing up, my mom, I was raised by a single mom, and she's the one that taught me about work ethic.
Mhm.
She was a construction worker for years, and she would go all over the state. So I mean, I definitely know what that's like. But now that but when she started investing here and saw the opportunity to create businesses here, now she doesn't leave the county anymore.
Yeah.
And now she creates jobs because she took the risk in starting a business. Now we employ over 20 people. We attribute massive amounts of money to to taxes. It gives people somewhere else to go and eat. And again, we need to do that for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Make it easier for other people to start those kind of businesses here. Yeah, and they might go and work at a bank out of county, but maybe their passion is to start a small local business doing a quilt shop or another little ice cream place or a little business downtown, but they can't because they're not allowed to work on the buildings and they don't have the money to pay for the insurance, the flood insurance. So I mean, there's a lot of barriers in their way that.
Well, and I think you're hitting upon to the point that in my mind, that I think of when you think about Pendleton County and the businesses we have. Most of them are small mom and pops who started and grown, and those are the things that I'm slowly coming to realization that we need to focus on helping those.
Absolutely.
Rather than. It'd be great if we get an industrial site, but
Right,
you know what? It's
if
been
it happens-
40 years chasing this dream.
Well, not apparently. If we were
But-
chasing,
but-
most people would realize right away, hey, we're not even listed with the Economic Development Cabinet.
But we've been chasing this
Right.
industrial dream,
It's not
and
gonna
how
happen.
many hundreds of mom and pop stores
prevent-
have started and benefited in this county in those 20, 30, 40 years.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I mean, the smoking
we gotta
pig
make
is-
sure to help
the
those.
smoking pig is a perfect example of that. I mean, it started as the Garden Girl Nursery, where we just sold flowers and pumpkins out of my mom's house. And then she had the dream of buying up an old log cabin and doing that little business. And again, the state and county gave us some issues with that. I mean,
Yeah.
it cost us a lot more than what it probably should have.
well, you
No.
even look at the story of how McDonald's got here, and is a good analogy of how things can grow. We started with the Druthers, that is where the bank is now. BB&T, I think is the name of it. That was a Druthers. Hardee's saw the good business, and that was after I graduated high school. We didn't have fast food when I was in high school. We didn't have
Really?
a pizza place. Didn't have a pizza place when I graduated high school.
Oh,
But
man.
anyhow, Druthers came in, 84, 85, something like that. Did well. Hardee's saw how well the Druthers was doing. They came in. And when I was first starting in marketing teachers, I would have the owner of Hardee's come in every year, and it was new, and talk to my class. And one year they said, "You will soon get a McDonald's." And we're like, "Why do you say you're Hardee's? Why do you say that?" And he said, "They track our sales.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever we're doing well, they soon follow us and bring in a McDonald's." And he said that the company that had Hardee's at that time, they owned like 23 Hardee's. One of them was at Moorhead's campus. And he said, "This is the best Hardee's we have in our company. McDonald's will be here." And it was within 5 years, and here was McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. When other businesses and competitors start to see a growth, they capsize on it immediately. They take the risk and they see if other people are doing well. I mean, look at Over the Rhine in Cincinnati. I mean, this is one of the worst neighborhoods in the whole city. Now it's one of the nicest. It's
Yeah.
because people bought, they invested, they showed that it could be done, and then everyone else came. It's just a matter of.
But it's mom and pops
Right, yeah.
who
small
did those
businesses.
kind of
Exactly,
things. Yeah,
exactly.
it's not chasing
Exactly.
this great unicorn that you're trying to
Right.
catch.
Well, the government didn't
Yeah.
do it. These big companies didn't do it. It was the people and the private small businesses that built it. And that's exactly what we need to focus on down here. And that's why I want to get downtown fixed back up. And I know the issues. I know what they're facing. And that's why I bring up issues of planning and zoning and state building code. People want to jump on me like I don't know what I'm saying. I do. I've seen it firsthand what kind of barriers, artificial barriers at that they're putting in place. It's not something that you would ever experience if they would just step back.
Okay.
Just like with the alcohol sales, like why? It's just like a restriction on your ability to engage in the free market that is preventing growth.
Okay.
So
One area that we haven't touched upon as far as infrastructure, roads. What kind of shape are the roads in the streets in the city? What do we need to do there? I know me and you had talked a little bit about it creates some problems with flooding and those kind of things when we have heavy rains and flash floods. What kind of things do we need to focus on there?
Well, depending on what street you live on, you either have a really nice street or you have a really bad street. And I mean, a lot of that is just reaching out and getting the grants necessary to rebuild And moving forward, we need to make sure that a lot of our issues down here with why our roads the way they are is they're not milling. They don't mill away.
Explain milling.
When you go down and you put down new asphalt, new blacktop, or whatever it is you're doing, if you're adding 3 inches, if you just lay it down without milling away, meaning like breaking it down and cutting
What
away.
we're now seeing on 27.
You see it on 27, you see it on Main Street. I mean, look at the roads.
And those are state road projects.
What's that?
What the
Main
ones?
and 27.
Yeah, that's when you see those that being done in a city street. That's the state who comes through and does that.
We have all the streets down here except for Main and 27.
Okay.
So those are both state roads. But the other ones, those are under our control. And if you look at a lot of them, and this is a big issue with our draining too, is that they just keep laying down new layers of road on top of the old without cutting away. And it's causing these roads to mound up. That's why when you walk and you look at our curbs, if you have a curb, it cuts down and then it goes over and it shoots right back up, and the road is actually higher than the curb. Whereas back in the day, it used to have to be 6 inches lower. So it's just a matter of, moving forward. I mean, we need to make sure that we're doing that. We're milling away more than what we're putting down. That way, eventually, it'll get back to its original height. But as far as the money for it, I mean, a lot of that comes from general fund and state road aid, which is like in the municipal road aid fund we get every year. I think they give us, I don't know if it's the road aid or the LGA. I think it's like $40,000 a year they give us, which doesn't cover the cost of maintaining all the roads, but it helps.
Mm-hmm.
But on some of the bigger projects, it's grants that we need to get, and that's why we got Bill Mitchell back. He's a great grant writer. And we'll start using him more for that. I know right now we're focusing on water and sewer, but after this is done, absolutely there's a few roads that we need to work on. And even like the Safe Route to Schools grants, that was what they used for the sidewalk on Robbins.
Okay.
So again, that was state funded. There's a lot of grants like that we can go out there and apply for and try to get that will help us with them.
Okay. All right. Final question. You're elected in November. You take over in January. And is it 4 years, 6 years?
It's a 4-year.
4-year term. 4 years after you took office in January 1st, what would be a person looking at your tenure, what would they notice about your term in office?
Well, I think they're going to notice more of what I've been doing privately with downtown. I mean, I've redone a few of the buildings, like the old 3L building. I painted that. Sugar Pies, I redid all that for them. I fixed up the old Wonderland Theater front facade. We got the Smoking Pit Tavern. We're working on the Mason Building, and that's all stuff we're going to do regardless. But I think if people want to see more of that, they'll vote for me because I know what it's like to start a business down here. I know the issues that we're facing beyond what the average person sees. Most people just come and go to and from work. They don't pay attention to that. Every time I tell someone that we're not allowed working on our own buildings because we have to contract it out to licensed contractors, it blows their mind. They have no idea that that's even like that. But I think moving forward, if I get elected here in 4 years, people are going to see a lot more growth downtown. They'll see us focusing a lot more on the drug issue. I'll be a lot more vocal about what I'm doing. I mean, I use Facebook all the time. I know people don't like that sometimes, but it's the only avenue I have to really talk to people. But I plan on using that and expanding on that and letting people know exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and what the result's going to be. And people will know exactly where I stand on everything. There's no hidden agenda with me. People know exactly where I stand on most issues. So I think moving forward, if I do win, which I strongly believe I will based off of talking to everybody, I think the biggest thing they're going to see is the drug issue being taken care of. Not taken care of because we're not going to be able to fix it overnight. It's going to take more than 4 years. I mean, it'll never go away. But
Yeah.
The best we can do is try to create an environment that minimizes that kind of effect. And I think that our best way to get out of that is through job growth and businesses. And if I win, I think you'll see a lot more businesses opening up downtown. You'll see a lot more events. You'll see a lot more investment into our public spaces, like the parks, our downtown stage area, our public spaces. I think just an overall communication.
Okay.
Communication's a big issue out here.
You mentioned Facebook, so that thought of the question.
Uh-uh.
There's been some less than civil communications that's gone on. Have any regrets on, or not regrets, that's not the way I want to phrase this. What have you learned about communicating on Facebook by some of the things that have occurred since, let's say, May?
I mean, on Facebook, I don't regret anything I say. I don't put something on there. If I regret the words I use, then I would never take them off. I say what I mean and I mean what I say, and if people don't like it, then don't vote for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to show people that I'm willing to fight for them, and I don't care if, what kind of whiplash I get on that, because a lot of people don't like it. I've had other council members tell me I have mental illness because I have some kind of hero complex where I'm trying to, do this stuff on there. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it because when I was just a regular citizen, I had no idea who our council members were. I didn't know who our mayor was. We had no idea. We were never informed on what was going on. And I'm trying to break that cycle of miscommunication. And I mean, I don't want to, I use that because I can go straight to the people and tell them exactly what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. Whereas we're having to rely on a news source that, they don't get every side perfect, they never will. So it lets people see my words and what I think without having to see it through a filter of, someone else. So, but no, I don't regret it. And as far as what I've learned, I learned that you're not going to make anyone happy. Or not anyone, but everyone. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be people that don't like what you're doing. There's always going to be those that are just going to try to tear you down. There's also people that go on there and hate on me. They don't even live in the city, so it's like it doesn't even affect them.
Yeah.
But no, I don't regret anything I do on Facebook. I speak my mind, and then the way I look at it is, if the people like what I'm saying, they'll vote for me, and if not, then they'll make their choice. But at least they know where I stand. Going around and campaigning these last few months, I've knocked on a lot of doors. One of the things I ask them is, who's your mayor? They don't know. Who's your council members? Well, I know you are. I know Phyllis Waite too, and April's on there still, right? It's like, that's sad. I'm sorry, but it's a shame that they're not engaged with our government like that, because as far as the people that are going to fix the issues down here, it's our government. It's the local government. It's not going to be the state's going to fix our issues. The federal government's not going to fix our issues. We are. But most people don't even pay attention, and they should, because if they paid attention more, they'll realize that there's a lot of issues our city's facing that we are creating ourselves that we could fix overnight if we wanted to. And again, it's like if I win, I'm not going to be able to fix it. I can't do it by myself. I have to have a strong council in there, a good council that's willing to make hard decisions and change the way we've done things for so many years. And yeah, it's going to be like ripping a Band-Aid off. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be comfortable, but it's what you got to do. It's going to be what's best.
Yeah. You rip the Band-Aid off to put the medicine on, and then in the short term it hurts, but in the long term it's healed and it goes away. I had said one final question, but as I've always said on conversations, as we have these conversations, things pop up sometime that I didn't expect to pop up. With maybe fiasco is a good term to use, of the utility rate increase and those 2.5 months that it was just all over. What did you learn? What did you learn that benefits you moving forward at this point? What was learned by the council, by the mayor, from how all of that played out?
You mean like how everyone was upset about it, the way we did?
It was retro. You voted for a retroactive increase in late July, that it would go back to July 1st.
There was a little miscommunication on that. When I originally voted on that bill, if you look at the way that it was set up, it says effective August 1st, but it doesn't say effective August 1st billing cycle or effective August 1st retro. Because when you bill for August, you're actually billing for the previous month. So that's the way it was set up. That it was kind of confusing in the way we passed the legislation. I was thinking it was moving forward. I did not know it was retroactive, because it says it takes effect August. I think it was August 1st billing cycle. I'm just saying August. I don't know if it was August or I think it was August.
It was August 1st when the first bill that came out. Yeah.
So I think it was
July 28th was the second. And my memory doesn't always hold, but I think your second reading of it was July 28th. Like a Thursday night, and then Tuesday was the August 1st when the bills came out. That's the new bills came out.
I can honestly say I did not know that was going to affect that bill for that month. I would have never, because why would we do that? We're not trying to, get one over on people and just pull the rug out from underneath them. It was a mistake. The way we did it was not right, which is why we corrected it. And again, people shouldn't look at that as a failure on our part. It should be, look, they succeeded. They got it done. They came back. They corrected what they messed up on. And a lot of it was just communication. We didn't inform the people. And
so that's kind of what you've taken forward from it going forward. Right. And that's what I was looking for as an answer. What did you learn from it?
Well,
because anybody in a leadership position, you're not going to get everything 100% correct. And if you think any of your leaders are going to get 100% correct, you're wrong. It's not going to happen. But you want your leaders to learn. And so that's why the question there. What did you learn from it?
It's communication. It was letting the people know. And again, a lot of it that goes. But that's a two-way street, though. We have to put the information out there, but the people have to be willing to be receptive and come to the meetings and engage. And people say oh, we had no idea this got us blindside. It's like, I'm sorry to say that, but this has been talked about for over a year that we're gonna do this. So when people say they had no idea, it's like, yeah, well, it's been in the paper, we've made discussions on it online. So, I mean, but then again, we have to take responsibility, but moving forward, we need to let the people know, and that's why I use Facebook. Again, you can't always rely on the local paper to get all these things out there in a timely manner. So that's why I try to go straight to the people and talk to them directly, tell them what we're doing. That's why when I saw, you know, I get a lot of flack about Facebook, which is why I never even commented on it first. But then I saw the reaction online. I thought, well, I gotta step out there and try to explain ourselves. You know, and that's why I took it out there. I took it on the chin. People hated me for it, but you know, I stand by what we did. We had to increase it. I don't like the way we did it. I don't think it should have been retroactive, but that's the rate it has to be in order for us to move forward. And that's not it. It's gonna have to go up even more over the next 3 years as we do this project. The second they fund that loan, we're going to have to change our rates again to be able to compensate that yearly amount that we have to pay towards it. So, and again, that makes me look at the bigger issue of, you know, why are we involved in this in the first place? You know, like, everyone's going to be madder at the government for messing up than they would a private company. You know, a private company screws you over, even whatever. The government does it, you take a lot more, it's a lot more personal, you know what I mean? Because these people are supposed to be there to protect you and represent you, so. We failed. I mean, we failed the people on the way we did that, but we're trying to correct it. And again, like you said, it's not about being perfect and making the right decisions. It's about learning from those and changing, moving forward to better facilitate those kind of things. But I think, like I said, moving forward, it's communication. You know, the mayor should be out there every day answering questions, telling people what we're doing. I mean, they're the face of the city. You know, there's only so much I could do as a councilman behind the scenes, and that's why I realized real quick that the person that's in charge of the direction our city's taking is the mayor. And that's why I want to be the mayor, because I know, I honestly believe that I can turn the city around, and if the people don't see that, then don't vote for me. But I think that I've proved my point in what I can do down here on a personal level and, you know, on a city council level. You know, in the 2 years I've been on council almost, drugs haven't been brought up. Why? We're not talking about drugs, we're not doing business incentives, but yet these are the two biggest issues facing our community. You know, drugs and the lack of job growth and economic opportunity. But we're not doing anything about that. We spend 90% of our time talking about failing utility departments. Now, what are we gonna do to fix them? What are we gonna do to fix them? Like, well, what are we gonna do to fix the drug problem and the business problem first? Those are bigger issues. I don't care about the utilities. I mean, not that I don't care about them, but they're on the back burner as far as the people's safety and, you know, their environment first.
Absolutely.
So if we're spending all our time talking about utilities, that's when you have to ask yourself, are we a utility company or are we a government? And if we focus on one or the other, which one's going to have a better effect on the people? Well, I think we should focus on the police department, the fire department, our city ordinances, stuff like that, that's actually going to better our city. We're not going to better our city by controlling utilities. Like I said, you can't use that money for it. You can't improve your city with utility fund money. They can only take care of themselves. So who's it benefiting? It's not benefiting the people. It's not benefiting the government. So why even get involved? Why not sell off those assets and use that money for other things?
Yeah. I understand. I mean, I understand that argument, especially in a time things are getting tighter and tighter. Budgets are tighter and tighter. You have to ask that question, why?
Absolutely.
And sometimes you come up with a good answer of why. And then sometimes you don't come up with a good question of why. And then you think, okay, what's a better way to possibly do that?
Well, I've gotten the answer of, that's how we've always done it down here. One time
I
too
don't
many.
like, I don't
That's
like
the
that
worst
answer.
answer. Exactly.
Yeah.
I've heard it so many times. Why do we do our accounting like this? You know, why do we pay all of our city clerks that are supposed to be paid out of the general fund, out of the utility fund? Well, that's how we've always done it. It doesn't mean it's
Now,
right.
but that's not a good answer, but it might turn out to be a good answer once you look at it the way we've always done it. Well, that is the best way to do it.
Oh, right,
But it might not be the good answer right then.
Yeah. There's a difference in saying, well, this is why we do it. This is why we've always done it this
Yeah.
way, and versus saying, well, that's just how we've always done it.
Yeah.
Those are two completely different answers.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So I like the one answer where they explain themselves. I don't like the one, well, that's how we've always done it. We're not going to get rid of it. Well, what are we here for? Are we here for what's best for the people or what's best for our utility department? So I want to focus on what's best for the people.
And that's what I try to do here. Is I'm annoying, I know, because I question a lot of times,
Oh, no.
but I want to know. I want to make sure to get it
Since
communicated
you've gotten
correctly.
involved down here, I've seen more activity and more stuff going on with the Falmouth Outlook than ever. I mean, you've turned it around. down here.
It's a
And
team effort. It's
I
not
know,
one.
but it does take. It's a team effort, but the team is a bunch of individuals that have to put in their effort. If they're not all carrying their own weight, then it's not going to succeed. But You carry your own weight here for sure. I mean, like,
I don't know about that. Have you seen how much weight? I don't think anybody can carry their own. It might take 4 or 5 people to carry my weight.
Yeah, you're carrying a load of 4 or 5 people. Right? And you've done a great job. Like, even with this, I really appreciate you doing this. I've watched all of them. I've watched the sheriff. I've watched the judge exec. I mean, it lets you understand more on a personal level where people are coming from. And I just want to tell everyone out there that if you vote for me this November, I promise you that I can make big changes down here that will improve our city. And if I don't, then don't vote for me again in 4 years. And I promise you things will not be any worse off than they are now. But moving forward, I can show you what I've done downtown as an individual. And I know I'm young, and that's like the main thing people have held against me is my age. But age is irrelevant. I mean, it's about what you know and what you can do. And I have a vision. I've been acting on that vision myself. And regardless of whether or not I win, downtown's going to get fixed up by me and my family. So look forward to it. There's going to be more businesses. Falmouth will get better regardless of what happens this election.
Well, what if somebody does want to talk to you about an issue or help out or whatever thing? How do they contact you to do that?
Anyone can either find me on Facebook, or I'll give you my cell phone number right now. It's 859-905-9255. And if you call and I don't answer, just send me a text. I'll answer any questions you have about this city. I love doing it. I do it all day long. I can show you my phone right now where I have hundreds of messages from people in the city asking me questions like this. And they want to know where I'm coming from. And a lot of people are starting to realize that, you know, everyone's been talking about change down here for the last 20 to 30 years, but we've not changed anything. We haven't changed the way we operate. We haven't done anything to promote businesses. We really haven't tackled the drug issue the way we should be. We're focusing on the small scale and not the bigger picture issue of why it's happening in the first place. You know, but I'm a big picture guy. And I know what we can do in 4 years. And people will see results. People haven't seen results in the last 20. You haven't seen anything change, and I know because I've talked to you and you haven't seen it. But give me 4 years, and I can turn the city around. I know I can, with the help of a good council. We need a good council in there too that's ready to make these changes. And this past council, I mean, you got to ask yourself, what have we accomplished in the last 2 years? Most people won't have an answer to it. Most people say, "Oh, we impeached the mayor." Well, that's not an accomplishment. I think that's a black eye on our city. That makes us look awful. But the only accomplishment I can say I've really done is changing the alcohol sales times and really focusing on the infrastructure and looking at it. But again, I feel like we're making bad decisions on the infrastructure and the utilities. I don't like the direction that we're going. I feel like we're continuing down and we're doubling down the same thing that we've always done. We're going further and further down a rabbit hole that we all know leads to nowhere. So let's turn around, let's get back out of the hole and focus on the city and not what's best for the utility departments.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Enjoyed sitting down and talking to you. Hopefully you all continue to enjoy these videos, watching them, getting a little bit, as you mentioned, a little bit more of a personal nature of what is going on, what's happening, who these candidates are. Hopefully this setup, you were able to hear us a little bit better than when we were out in the middle of all the action. Make sure you check out all of our videos, and each week we try to put a summary of these kind of things into the Outlook so that you can read it more as a summary and also maybe to spark an interest to come and watch the whole video. Thank you for coming to www.falmouthoutlook.com.
Thank you.